Anyone else feeling a disco vibe right now? So The Martian is the newest science fiction space film. It's directed by Ridley Scott and stars an ensemble cast of Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Kate Mara, Sebastian Stan, Michael Pena, Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, and a whole bunch more. And just like in the book, which I reviewed, which you can check out the link for below, it tells the story of Mark Watney, an astronaut on the Ares 3 mission on Mars, and when they have to evacuate due to a sandstorm while they're trying to get to their ship, Mark Watney is hit by a piece of debris and presumed dead on the planet and left behind. And then Mark wakes up on the planet by himself, and he has to try and figure out a way to get into contact with NASA, as well as survive on the planet by himself. And just like the book, this movie is fantastic. Now, though Ridley Scott has made some pretty not-okay films in the past few years, he's definitely shown in his entire career that he can do really good science fiction movies, with movies such as Alien, Blade Runner, and, whether you like it or not, I enjoyed it, Prometheus, and in The Martian he proves again that he is really good at directing science fiction. This film exceeds in almost every single way possible, putting together some really great performances throughout, some amazing cinematography, a really awesome soundtrack, and a screenplay that is really funny but also really interesting, serious, and awesome. Matt Damon does a fantastic job as Mark Watney in this film. He really does bring the character from the book to life on the screen. He's funny, he's smart, he's charismatic, and he also plays a very realistic role. His take on the character actually feels like a way that a person might react when being left stranded on Mars. It's definitely very optimistic, but overall it's really fantastic, and Matt Damon does great. And along with Damon, you have some fantastic performances by everybody else in this film as well. In space, you have a variety of cast members, including Jessica Chastain, Michael Pena, Sebastian Stan, and Kate Mara, and they all do fantastic jobs, especially Jessica Chastain and Michael Pena. Chastain's role as Commander Lewis is fantastic in this film. She really brings a lot of emotion to it. She is definitely the most emotional character in the entire film, but it really builds onto it, and Michael Pena's character, as always, is really funny. His performance is really well done too. He's emotional, but he's also super funny. He adds a lot of comic relief to it, even with Mark Watney being the main one. And on Earth, you have Chiwetel Ejiofor, Kristen Wiig, and Donald Glover, who all give really well done performances. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays the director of the Ares missions to Mars for NASA, and he does a really well done job making decisions that are hard, but I actually feel like are realistic. Kristen Wiig plays a reporter, and she's a mixture of funny and a very serious role that I enjoyed. And Donald Glover in this film is really well done. His role as a scientist in this movie is really funny. He's a very smart character, and overall, everybody just excels in this film. Now, Drew Goddard wrote the screenplay for this movie, and he directed and wrote with Joss Whedon The Cabin in the Woods, and wrote multiple episodes of the Netflix original series Daredevil, and he really shows excellence in this film, as his screenplay is amazing. It's the right amount of seriousness and funny, along with a compelling storyline that keeps you gripped along the entire 2.5 hour long length of this movie. It develops all the characters fully, no character is left out, and it's also a very well done take on the book. I was afraid that they might leave out some stuff, but really the only thing they left out were very minor things that I didn't really have a problem with them leaving out. One of the best things about this movie is the cinematography in this movie, using really wide shots of Mars to capture the beauty of such a desolate planet, while also just the regular scenes where they're following characters around and seeing what they're doing are really well done. Each scene is really well shot, each one is unique in its own way, and the best scenes are definitely the ones where it's showing the beauty of Mars. And in case you were wondering, definitely spend the extra $3 or $4 to see this movie in 3D. It's way more immersive if you see it like that, and I had a way better time seeing it this way. Now, as I said, The Martian is a fantastic movie, and you should definitely check it out. The only problem I have with it is a very small thing, and that's the detailing of the story. There's one scene in particular that they really explained well in the book, but they didn't explain well enough in the movie, so though it did happen, it didn't really explain why it happened, and I felt it detracted from the movie a little bit. And the other scene that I had a little bit of a problem with was the fact that there was a scene that should be really long and should take a while to go over, but really they go over in maybe like 2 to 5 minutes, and I felt like there should have been more things happening during that scene. At first I thought it was just a personal pet peeve that they didn't add some things in to the movie from the book, but afterwards I asked my friend who I saw it with, and he agreed that those scenes were a little bit too underdeveloped or should have been longer and should have explained more. But overall, guys, The Martian is a really, really fantastic movie. Ridley Scott is a great director for this film. All the performances are great. The cinematography is fantastic. The soundtrack for this film is fun and makes you want to dance in your seat. Everything about this movie excels, except for maybe one or two underdeveloped scenes. But overall, you guys should definitely check out this movie this weekend, and in 3D if you can do it. I am going to give The Martian 4.75 stars. This is definitely one of Ridley Scott's best works in years, so let me know below what you think of The Martian and what your favorite Ridley Scott film is. I'm going to do a spoiler review video for this film later, comparing it to the book and seeing how they differ and which one was better, and also comparing it to Interstellar, which was a huge debate that I had with my friends on whether it was going to be better or worse than Interstellar. Anyways, keep your eyes out for that, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.